All right. Welcome to this regular scheduled meeting of the Planning and Zoning. Welcome to 2026 as we start the new year, and I'm glad that everybody can come. We have some illness in the area tonight, so we do have Mr. Epling, and we have Brandon Waters joining us via phone. I appreciate you guys for joining in, and we're going to go ahead and just get started. I'd like to make sure we get out in a timely manner tonight. So first on the agenda will be the consideration of the planning and zoning minutes from the meeting held on September 29th, 2025. Entertain a motion on that.
Motion to waive the reading and accept the minutes.
Thank you. Got a first? Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Sherry. Okay. Sorry as I take a moment to write this down. Should have moved you up here so you can be with me. Okay, I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Thank you. Next is public comment. We have nobody else in the building other than Julie and Amy. So we're going to go right on into the consideration of zoning classification for the new visitor center property. So I do have printed out for folks if you need it the C1, C2, C3 ordinances. I'll give Tim a set of those. But I just want everybody to know just kind of where we are if you don't have a map. Right now, if you're looking at the map, starting from about the creek up near the park, all of that area up through there, okay, I think that map's in your, I think Amy put that in with you, good. Okay, that area all the way up through there on that right side is C3 currently. And that runs all the way up to and including the bus garage. And I think it's kind of hard to see on there, but it goes all the way up past the school and includes the bus garage right now. We just verified that with Craig, and we went out and looked at the map. It's in the lobby out there, and it did look like it included the bus garage, didn't it, Craig?
Yeah, it did.
So, you know, it makes sense. And as I look through the C1, certainly not a good option. C2, just in my opinion, doesn't quite give you all the possibilities that could happen out there. And it just makes sense to continue out through there as a C3 like we have in the other areas down through there. I know you've dug into some of this, Brandon. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. I know you used to be really involved in that, in those commercials, and this looks like it makes a lot of sense. But I'm open to, you know, any comments or, you know, anything that this body would like to talk about. What will happen is,
Were you talking about naming a C3 zoning?
yes, sir.
That's why, if I remember right, which I don't have them in front of me, but C1 and C2 was a lot of like main downtown areas and things that were not on 19. But things that were directly on 19, almost all of that was in C3. So I mean, that would have to fit that pretty well.
Yeah, and good comment. What I have printed off for the folks here, I wrote at the very top, in the city of Summersville, West Virginia, the C3 is an intensive commercial district. It's designed to accommodate large-scale commercial activities, automotive services, and heavy retail that may not be suitable for the quieter neighborhood zones like C1 or the high-density downtown core, which is C2. The C3 district is typically located at the edges of the central commercial core or along major thoroughfares like Route 19 to accommodate higher traffic volumes and larger physical footprints. And so as you look through, you know, the ordinances and everything that it has, like the permitted uses in C3, all the way down through it, it just makes sense, in my opinion. In my opinion.
I mean, I know that it's not really a retail business or anything like that, being
Right.
a visitor center, but just the area that it's in, I would still think it would make more sense to fall under C3.
Yeah, it just opens you up for more activity out there if you ever want to grow that visitor center into something, you know, a little bit more. It gives you the opportunity to grow, in my opinion.
Yeah. C3 does include the public buildings too, I think.
It does.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was in front of me.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah. You're right. Any other comments? Got Craig down there studying that map. He's a map guy.
I'm looking at a different parcel.
Any other comments? Okay.
You need a vote?
Absolutely, I'll entertain a motion for a vote on this. Let's see how it's written here. Consideration of zoning classification, yes, we can vote,
You
correct?
gotta send it to council.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so all we're doing is, we're just sending this, our recommendation from this body up to the council for their vote. Is
Right
what
there
we'll
at the
have.
school. There's a high school, so it's gonna be
You mean
beside
to
it.
accept it as a
Yeah, we'll send it up there and just accept it as a C3,
Right beside the bus road.
and the council will vote on it.
So we need to make
Okay, thank you.
we need to make a recommendation to council, is what we're voting on.
Yes, that's all we're doing.
Okay.
That's all we're
And you
doing.
got a first?
I have a first,
And a second.
and I have a second. Any other discussion? Okay, fantastic. So the motion is to make the recommendation to city council that should be zoned a C3. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, like sign, thank you. Okay, fantastic. A little bit ahead of schedule, this is a good thing. Discussion and approval of fine structure for the stop work orders. As it's been a little while, so let me just remind you, and Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, but we brought this to this body, Joey, our code official, was looking for some kind of a fine structure to assist him in enforcing building permits, and he was struggling with that just a little, not a lot, but just a little. And what this body did was it kind of opened up Pandora's box. We got into a lot of discussion on that last meeting, and I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed ciphering through. I had said, Amy, please, would you just print me off the minutes from that meeting so I can make sure that I get everybody's request in there. But after really looking it over, guys, and I'll do whatever this body wants to do, but I'm not sure we need an ordinance as much as we need an informational packet. I think you'll see in something that, did I give you one, Timmy?
They're in the,
Yeah, but this packet here that I did.
oh,
I think you can see in the packet that I did, I'm gonna go ahead and read it because we do have a couple on the phone. But I just came up with some ideas, guys. Doing an informational packet opposed to a ordinance. Now, we can do it either way. It makes no sense. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me. I can do the ordinance, and I actually already have one. But this is just some informational stuff that I think that when I listened and read the minutes as to some of the things that you guys were wanting. This first page, I have the permit path process. To make the process less intimidating, we recommend the following steps. Submit plans, bring a simple sketch or professional drawing of your project to the building department. I would probably say code official on that. Plan review, our staff will review the plans to ensure they meet the International Building Code, which is the IBC, and local zoning laws. Permit issuance, once approved, pay the fee and post your permit in a visible front window. Inspections, call for inspections at key milestones, like before the walls are closed up and when the job is finished. This was just a suggestion, this final one, that I caught as I was studying it. But a lot of folks are putting final approval, they receive a certificate of completion. This actually protects their home for resale value. So if you are saying in a situation where you're selling your home, we remodeled our sunroom. It does help to have a certificate of completion where it was observed by the code official or things of that nature, so that people can see that, hey, it was followed through a process following IBC International Building Code regulations. If you flip the page, purpose and intent. The purpose of this ordinance, if you were to write an ordinance, is to protect the health, safety, and general welfare of the citizens by ensuring that all construction, alterations, and repairs comply with established safety codes. Building permits are required too. I have ensure structural integrity to verify that buildings are safe for occupancy and can withstand environmental stresses. Fire safety to ensure proper fire blocking, electrical wiring, and egress routes are in place. Property value protection to prevent substandard construction that could negatively impact neighborhood property values. And legal compliance to ensure work meets zoning, setback, and environmental regulations. Permits are required, and I go through that process. Then I flip to the next page, which I really liked, so I just went ahead and put it together. Before you start your next home improvement, and this is some of that educational piece that I think that we should give out in some kind of informational packet. Before you start your next home improvement project, check this list. If your project falls under this, where it says yes, a permit must be issued before work begins. And it goes through, and I've just laid it out. Structural changes, removing walls, new doorways, is permit required? Yes. New construction, additions, garages, sheds, that's greater than 120 square feet, is this permit required? Yes.
Can I have clarification on sheds?
Yeah, go ahead.
Does that mean portable sheds or ones built?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I'm open to this. I mean, this can be whatever we deem it to be. I mean, I'm okay with portable sheds. You're talking about like the ones that we can buy and bring in and set? Is that what you're talking about? Or ones that have wheels?
No, ones that you buy and the company comes and sets them for you.
Yes, yeah. I think that's up to this body as to I think the main things, I mean, those sheds are looking like almost like stick builds anymore. I mean, they're that good,
Well, the only thing is you're questioning things like foundations.
Yeah.
Setbacks is one thing, but that doesn't have a foundation.
Sure.
It's set on block.
Sure.
So that now the carport type, that's construction.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a little different. It's attached to the ground. This is just setting on top of it.
Yeah. Is that me?
I wish to put chat on it.
Okay, good. Maybe I was losing the power. So I'm open to things on that. I mean, I'm okay. I was trying to go through and but yeah, you're right. I mean, when you start talking about the sheds, we need to probably have more discussion on that. The electrical work, new outlets, wiring, service panels, yes. Plumbing, moving pipes, new water heaters, sewer lines, yes. Decks and porches higher than, and I'm not positive about this number, I'd have to go through Joey on it, but higher than 30 inches off the ground, yes. Roofing, full replacement or structural repair, yes. Windows, doors, yes. Cosmetic work like painting, carpet, tiling, cabinets, no. For the most part. Standard fencing, and I wasn't positive on this one, but under 6 foot tall, no. So just laying stuff like this out for them as an informational piece. And certainly I would want to go through our code official and make sure he would
That's one
approve,
thing I'd like to comment on.
he would approve stuff like that, huh?
Couple of things you gotta figure out to comment on.
Yes, go ahead.
Hot water heater.
Mhm.
Yeah, that should be.
Yeah,
I'd like, I mean, if you say you could have a permit to hot water heater, hot water broke at 8 o'clock at night, I don't know if the
Yeah,
roads get
you have
hot
to get
water
it
ready to fix
replaced.
it.
So that-
I don't get a permit,
Yeah, so that might be something that we can remove from that.
yeah.
The only thing, and then it would get too complicated, is if you altered it to like an instant on,
Yeah.
where you do have to do a lot of work and electrical stuff, but
Yes.
I would say a swap of a hot water heater, especially if you're just taking A from, and replacing it with A.
Sure, I would agree with that.
It's just,
Yeah, so I would remove that, for sure. Let's go back to the sheds. Let's talk sheds. And this could probably, we could talk probably sheds in one whole session, I would say, couldn't we? What's your all's thought process on that? You have a lot of knowledge about these, a lot more than I have, so what's your thought process on it?
I mean, I'm probably a little biased,
I know you are.
but I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
The
To do a
only-
permit
The
on
only
a
place where
shed.
it would be necessary would be the setbacks or something like that.
Sure.
You know, but most everybody, they're not gonna put it in the front yard.
No.
And the thing of it is any type of shed, carport or anything like that has to be so many feet back from the front of the house,
Sure.
even to the side. That's written in one of the ordinances.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is, especially on a rent-to-own type, you're setting it there, which could be temporary. It could be 30 days, it could be a year, it could be permanent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
But that's a big thing. Now, other cities, I can tell you Oak Hill requires it, because I'm arguing with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and some cities make you have a B&O or have a business license to do the delivery. But yet Lowe's can do a delivery and there's no license required.
Mm.
So, you know, there's a lot, you know, to do with that.
I
mean,
do
in
think-
theory, you deliver a car in the city limits, you need a permit, you know?
Yeah. I do think it's important though that people, I think what's good about the code official coming out as to where they're setting them, to make sure they're not setting them, or they're setting them according to their setbacks. I think that's important, I mean, for sure, because I mean, I know that, I mean, like I have one that I had no clue how Carol Lay set that thing there,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, that was one that you put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was put together.
Oh, okay, but yeah, you're right. Just to make sure people are setting them according to setbacks and things of that nature. I think that's important. I can go either way, it doesn't matter to me. I don't know how this body would want to handle it, but I have no problems with it. I mean, they're nice. I mean, you know, they're making them very nice. Any comments?
Like, well, our subdivision requires everything to be a certain kind anyway.
Yeah, so there probably is a couple of subdivisions that have deed restrictions, that would prohibit some of this from happening.
There are some things, and I know one subdivision, you have to have the siding of your outbuilding the same as your house.
Yes.
It's not enforced, but.
Right.
but
Most of the, but they don't.
Yeah, true.
so,
But I do think it, I mean, this, I guess my point was to try to let everybody know, I think you can educate and tell people about things without doing a complete new ordinance. You know what I mean? And we can do, and I, before I would do something like this and get a vote on something like this, I would certainly have the code official make sure he goes through it and he can enforce and he's okay with everything. But then on the back was basically, that's what brought us to this whole deal was the recommendations for penalties and stop work orders. That was what we were going after to begin with. And then it opened up a lot of other conversation, which is good.
I think where the proper place to come in is what's the landowner's responsibility? They're responsible for the permit. If they don't get it, the fine's double on them, da-da-da-da. Then whatever the contractor's responsible for, having his own license in the city and things like that, play the same game. If he doesn't come and do it, then he's fine. His fee's doubled the next time or
Sure.
whatever like that. I think that what is on that one page, this one here, is listed as offenses. That could just be the landowner's portion and the contractor.
Yeah, just do like a chart, one for the landowner, one for the contractor. Okay.
And any way they work it out,
Sure.
it's still gonna be enforceable no matter. That's a contract between them, not what they're following the rules.
Sure. And then once it's rolling, they begin to get the program and what they have to do.
And the big problem is you don't have a lot of it.
No,
I mean, you have some, but you don't have a lot.
no. I agree.
And probably 80% of it is, oh, I forgot about getting that.
Well, that is, you're right, 80 or 90% of what we hear.
Yeah, true or not.
Yeah, true or not, yeah, I forgot all about that.
We're gonna put a limit like we talked about before, on minor costs. If the guy's, like, the example is, you got outlets here. I got my outlet where now I put my light in, my plug won't stay in the outlets. I go up to Lowe's and buy me a new plug. We don't make them get a permit to get a, so, I'm saying, but it doesn't say that. It says if you replace an outlet, you gotta get a permit.
Yeah, but it does say in the ordinances that you go by dollar amounts. And I think it's under, is it $1,000? Under $1,000, there's no permit needed for stuff under $1,000. So that would cover your outlets, unless you got a bunch of outlets up there.
Does that
I just replaced one
cover
thing.
the $1,000 cover?
One at a time, any of it, maybe 2 or 3 at a time. They fit in there.
Under $1,000, you don't need the permit, right? I think you have to get the permit,
have to get
but there's
it,
no
so-
fee for the
yes.
permit. Yeah, so you still need to let somebody know you're doing work, but if it's under $1,000, like, or if you're painting your house, you don't need, there's no fee for that. But I do like to say, I mean, if you have a 4-story house or a 3-story house and you're painting, it would be nice to let somebody know so that we're making sure that everything's being done safely.
You're not paying pink.
Yeah, we're not painting it pink. Yeah.
You can pay if you want.
You can, but at least I would like the opportunity to talk to you about that.
Talk all
And your
want.
neighbors probably would like that opportunity too. Yeah, yeah. That's funny. So your thoughts? You want an ordinance? Or you want to stay away from the ordinance? With the ordinance, we do have to have, we gotta put it in the newspaper.
Why don't you just do
And
guidelines
That's what I
and leave it up to the code official to enforce them?
That's what I want to do.
I mean, that's the easiest and simplest way to do it.
I agree.
No reason to jump through all the hoops.
I agree. Because even if you put in an ordinance your fee structure, that changes, at some point in time, it can change, and then you have to go back to change your ordinance, you have to put it in the paper for, is it 14 or 15 days? 15 days, and then you have to have 2 readings, and you have to have public comment, you gotta be able to let them have their say. Typically, that's done on the first reading, which we're getting ready to do one. So it's quite the process, and it's expensive too. You gotta pay for the ads in the paper, and
And that's if you just wanna do, like you said, a dollar amount change or a word.
yeah,
If you change a word, you've gotta go do all this all over again.
yeah. If you amend anything,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's what I would like to do. And now I do agree with, let's look at that fine structure, and let's maybe do 2 sessions where you have one for landowner, one for the contractor too. I like that.
Because if the homeowner doesn't get the permit, technically it's not the contractor's fault.
No, it's not his fault.
If the contractor does shoddy work, it's not the homeowner's fault.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So-
The only thing I would like is, I'd like to train the contractors to really begin working that permit into their quotes and make sure that their communication is saying, that way they don't have any shutdown time, you know, that he doesn't come out and stop the work, and then they have to wait, and they got shut down, and they run in, and they have to pay their permit, and things like that. He does a great job of working with everybody and making sure that, you know, he doesn't have to do that, but there are times where,
But why can't he write the permit right then if the guy pays him? Like, why can't he just
he
keep those
could.
blue cards and write that out and take a check
absolutely, he can do that.
and then it's over with?
Yeah, he could do that. They just have to get the check. Sometimes you gotta track down the owner, things like that. So you know, you have some delays there that are unnecessary, I think, if everybody's communicating well.
Change
And,
order.
huh?
Just tell the contractor, change order.
It's a change order, isn't it?
Change order.
It's a change order. Yeah, you're right.
Does
So,
the city have a code official that's just job description specifically for this?
yes, sir.
Or
He's
are
got,
we blending it in with everything?
well, no, not just specific for building permits. He does all code enforcement throughout the city. So like, I mean, he's checking grass. Is the grass too high? I mean, he's looking, I mean, are there 4 unlicensed vehicles in somebody's yard? You know, things of that nature. So he's doing a lot of those other things too, I guess, to answer your question. Chicken coops. A lot of things, really. Some of your larger markets, Jimmy, you're absolutely right. Some of your large markets have 4 or 5 code officials, and they can start
Yeah.
separating out, you know, who specializes in what areas and things like that. But, you know, we have just the one, Joe. What do you think, Sherry?
I think rather than going through an ordinance, it'd be better just to do the guidelines and go that route.
I agree with that. So, would you like me to do just a little bit more work on the fine structure? Bring it back to us?
I don't think you have to.
Not really?
I think you just do both what it says to both parties.
Just do it for both parties?
Yeah.
Okay. I
For
can,
their part.
yep, okay. And again, this is a recommendation that will actually go to the city council for their vote.
And the second offense is double, but the first offense doesn't show a fine. They're just going to warn them the first time?
Yeah, it's just a warning. First.
That's where they get the chance to go rectify
I know,
it
but they're, now I'm going to charge you double next time.
if you don't do it.
Yeah.
Like if Joey shows up and he says, you've got till tomorrow to get legal to rectify your default. If you don't, and I come back tomorrow and you haven't, then I'm gonna fine you.
You're going to double the fine, so you just haven't
Well, you're gonna
Double
double
the
what the
permit.
fee is. This will just be the fee. This will be double the fee.
Okay.
It kind of, maybe you just describe it like that, rather than fine, the fee doubles. So let's say, well, and if there is no fee, then it doubles to 0.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Double
true. That's right.
So,
You're
yeah,
putting 2 outlets
Then if
in.
you don't do it by the second time,
Yeah.
it goes to a fee.
Yeah, there you
I think that'd be fine, because
Okay.
I really don't think, you probably won't have one problem a week. If that.
I don't think you do.
That's what,
Now, initially,
as long as people get trained and know somebody's out there,
yes,
they,
yes.
you know, they'll start avoiding that issue.
When Joey first started, he had a lot,
Mhm.
okay? But he's not getting as many now. And the ones that, I mean, he has some repeat offenders that I think he would like to have this so that it's not to make money, because you're not gonna make money off of this. It's just to make sure they're going about their business the right way and they're getting the permits. That's the only reason he's doing it. Because it is kind of a pain to have to come out and stop people and say, okay, like you said, he could have it in his glove box and he could write it, but somebody still needs to stop and go write a check, and, you know, you have labor shutting down and that kind of thing, so. Okay. Any other discussion on it? Jim, Brandon, you guys still with us?
Oh, yeah.
What's your thoughts? You okay with it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of torn on the whole thing.
Yeah.
With not anything other than, I hate to see too much regulation
Yep.
or anything, just because I know we're a very, like, pro-business town.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you have a ton of regulation, and just like, you know, Tim was talking earlier about, you know, a new water heater or this or that, or
Yeah.
I mean, parts of me is all for building permits and everything, and then other parts is, I see building permits being needed for new construction, but on replacement things such as wood floor, or carpet, or new water heaters, or porch rails, or things like that. I think we already have building codes in place inside of city limits where people have to build things to a certain code. But as far as getting building permits for, you know, almost every little thing, I think that kind of sets a precedent to where it's, you know, a little bit harder on the contractor or the property owner, and makes things more difficult for them.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of my thoughts.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with, you don't want to over-regulate. The main thing with me is, let's make sure what they're doing is safe. And, you know, like, as far as the hot water tank goes, I probably should have not put that in there, and I was not thinking about this, the canister type, but the last 3 or 4 that I've seen, they put them in and they have to wire them in and all that, and I think that's like the one you were talking about, but,
Well, I could be mistaken, I'm not sure, but I think there is a building code for, even when they build, let's say somebody builds a porch. I think there's a building code on the way that porch has to be built as far as the centers and everything.
there is.
So that's what I mean as far as having to have a permit for everything as far as replacing porch bars or flooring or any of that. I think there's an actual building code that they have to stay up to code on anyway that can be inspected by Joey without.
Yes, it's like an ISB, and that's under that international code. And
The international building code.
yes, and the other thing too is, that happens a lot, where people will say, hey, I'm fixing my deck, will you come out? And it's great, that is what you want. And he'll come out, and it's not gonna cost him anything, but he makes sure that they're doing it the right way. You know, because not everybody knows to look under the international building code to see what those things are. But it's great when that works, when they call him and he can come out, because it's keeping it safe, especially those porches. You hear them collapsing all the time, not around here, but especially in college towns where they get 50 on a porch and it collapses, those type of things. But yeah, you're right, I get it. I don't want to over-regulate either.
Well, and you gotta look at what the purpose of the permit is. The purpose of the permit is so the building inspector knows what jobs are going on, so he can go. it's not that he just drives around to look for people without permits.
Right.
The purpose of it is to keep the safety factor and stuff like that in place.
Correct.
And if you get a permit for every little thing, replacing bathroom or something like that, you're gonna drive a guy nuts.
Yeah, he can't, well, we're not equipped to do that. He
Yeah,
can't
so,
get
I mean,
to
the
everybody
whole
for that.
key behind the permit process is just so he can do a quick drive-by and make sure everything's up to snuff. I mean,
Yes.
that's what it is, and you
Yes.
can't turn it around to where the purpose of getting a job is to get a permit,
Yeah.
you know.
And a lot of these jobs too, Brandon, that we're thinking of too, are under $1,000, that you're talking about, and we're not wanting to get crazy on those.
And
You know
probably
what I mean?
today, as the dollar
Yeah.
figures that have rose today, that probably needs to jump up to 5,000.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we may, that's a good point. I don't know if you guys could hear that, Jim, and Brandon,
You won't do much.
but with
for
the
5,000.
dollar amount that's happening today, those dollar amounts have really
That's a
jumped.
waste.
So, yeah, we may wanna consider raising from 1,000 to 5,000 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that may not be a bad idea. That would eliminate a lot of the small stuff right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, I don't know when that was actually written, I'd have to look and see, but if it was written in the 60s or 70s, we could get a whole lot more back then than we can now for $1,000,
I
so.
was telling somebody the other day, well, Jimmy, remember when I did the walk through the courthouse?
Yeah,
When the courthouse was built, the entire courthouse cost $22,000. We're doing the sidewalks out front and they're $80,000.
Yes,
So to put you in perspective.
That's
how
crazy.
things have changed.
yeah, that's crazy.
well, Mr. Chairman, I may throw some cold water on this deal, but
Mhm.
I've seen permits the cities imposed, and they were for outside activity only. And one of the reasons that I remember, because I think I did one of these, at one time, was that you can't really infringe on how a person lives. They have a right to live in their house however they want.
Yeah.
And for you to come in and say you didn't get a permit for that hot water tank, that's a replacement for one I already had.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what we were saying, that shouldn't be in there. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I'm just using that for several things in that.
Yeah, like a faucet, I mean, you know,
Well,
there's a lot of
outlets.
stuff. Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
if it met building code when it was built, and all you're doing is replacing a part, I'm just throwing that out
Yeah.
for,
I agree.
you know, your permit was for outside activity. Primarily, you're doing it to make sure that the person is complying with the code for a subdivision or
safety.
whatever it may be.
Yeah, for safety.
So I'm just throwing that out.
No, good point.
That is a good point.
It is.
That'd simplify a lot of stuff.
It would, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What you're saying, inside the house, anything goes.
you live however you wanna live in your house.
Unless it's maybe something structural. If you remove a load-bearing wall, you know, you could collapse the house. I mean, there might be a little
Yeah.
language for that.
Basically, what I'm referring to are replacement parts.
Cosmetic.
Or-
Yeah.
like
I'm with
outlets.
that too, but I think wiring and that kind of stuff is dangerous. I mean,
But you still gotta do it to code. If you hire an electrician, they're going to.
yes, they should do it to code.
Well, if
I
you're
mean,
gonna
come
gut a
in-
house and totally
If you're gonna come in and
remodel it,
rewire a
you're
complete
not
house,
gonna
but
do
if you're
Yes.
that. You need a permit.
wiring it, just
Absolutely.
replacing the sockets
Yep.
or, you gotta do light fixtures hanging down from the ceiling and your wife don't like it anymore, she wants a new one. You gotta get a
Or you
permit
get
to-
taller, your kid runs into
Yeah, yeah.
So there's, I think, like you said, if you're doing replacement stuff, it shouldn't be, but if you're gonna do an actual change.
Improvement or
Yeah.
in addition to.
And I can put that, you know, we can do that on this page in here where it says, is permit required? I mean, you know, we could easily define that in there.
If you're gonna bump
That
things up to $5,000, you've eliminated a lot of stuff already.
Yeah, I have, yes. That might be the route right there. Take it up to 5,000.
take it up, definitely, at minimum of 5,000.
Yeah, that would certainly resolve a lot of that.
Because the price of lumber alone, I mean, if you're,
Oh.
even a porch under 30 inches or a fence,
Oh, yeah.
2 boards and,
It doesn't take long to spend $1,000 at Lowe's.
no.
Not at all.
I think we should have limits high enough so that if we require a permit and a fee, go out there and take a look at the job and not just be collecting a fee.
Correct. I agree. That should be part of your fee is, they should get a service for that fee.
That's right, that's what I say.
I agree.
And I think that's what kind of ticks some contractors off too, and some property owners. You know, if you collect a fee and then don't go take a look, then it's on you.
I agree with that.
Taxation without representation.
Yeah, you're right. No, I agree with that, 100%.
So that would kind of, as far as raising the price, I think that'd probably take care of some of that. And I guess that my other comment is, what kind of problems are we having currently? Are we having problems with not getting the work done right,
No,
or is it just the fact that they're supposed to have a permit and they don't have one, or what?
that was the main reason for the ask, when he asked for a fine structure, was the permits, people were not getting the permitting.
Yeah.
And that was his main reason for that. I have not heard, I mean, I think, I'll be honest with you, I think we have some quality builders around the area, and I think we have some folks doing it the right way. He's not going out and finding, he finds very few things that's being done wrong. I can think of one just over the last 3 or 4 years that he went out and he found a deck and it was already up and it was not safe. And they had to add boards, but they all came back in. It was built by an Amish group that came in, and they had to come back in and they reinforced it, and Joey was okay with it. But it was dangerous. I mean, I just, listening to him and what he had to say, and he was just going by international, the international codes, and they didn't do the reinforcement the way it was supposed to be done, and it was 2 stories up. And it was a commercial deck that, could have easily had a heavy number of people on it that could have went down. So there was a prime example of,
That's the purpose, and that's also on the outside.
yes, that's on the outside and that's the purpose, yeah.
Why don't we do maybe a work session with Joey for like a 30-minute interview and let him give us an update, and we might be making a big deal out of nothing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
I think it's helpful.
Yeah, okay. So why don't I schedule a work session and I'll have him here with us?
Yeah, maybe
I think that'd
the
be good.
next meeting,
Yeah.
30 minutes early.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, sounds good. We will do that. Okay. Any other comments? Anything at all? You want to do anything with the fine structure?
Let's talk to
Both
Joe
parties.
before we address that.
Okay, so we'll table the fine structure until we talk to
Let's-
Joe.
Let's talk to Joey, then let's make a decision next time.
Okay, fair enough. So did you hear that all right? We're gonna wait to talk to Joey before we set any kind of fine structure.
Yeah, I think Joey's the important part of this discussion. He should be present.
I do too. All right, sounds good. Anything else for the good of the order?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second, Brandon?
What about,
Oh,
were we going to talk about the campers, or is that been resolved?
yeah, we didn't put it on here
Okay,
this time. I thought we were gonna be full.
okay.
Hold it. Hold that-
All right.
Hold that paperwork.
I say we just make a motion, let the recorder handle it.
So hurry up, get those.
I would like to have some comment on that, if you don't mind.
We'll delay it till he gets his outlets in.
Yeah, then we get your outlets in
We can
first.
do like Robert, pass it off to the next man.
Actually, I gotta tell you, Jimmy, that was some good stuff right there. I mean, I didn't really think about inside, outside. I hadn't thought of that.
But you know what, most of the inside stuff isn't enforced, it's just kind of in the back. So if you make it official, but it isn't enforced.
Yeah. Well, it's not something your code official's gonna see as he's driving down the street either. I mean, it's inside.
And like the other one was talking, if it's a simple repair, if homeowners can be handle it himself, if it's a gut job and you're remodeling the whole house, you're going to have a contractor in to redo everything and make sure that you get a permit for it. But little tiny repairs and replacements,
Yeah, no. And that's the whole purpose, I think bumping that to 5,000 will take care of a lot of that.
Then you might want to average out, talk to some people about that too, because 5,000 is a little low in today's dollars. I mean, it can cover a lot, but if you put carpet in 2 rooms, you're over $5,000.
or paint, if you wanna paint one room, that's $200-300 just
Yeah.
for 2-3 gallon paint.
That's for sure, yeah.
And that might be a wife's request on a Saturday, you can't get a permit.
Yep. All right, good discussion tonight, I appreciate you guys. I have a first, I have a second. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening. Jim, get better.